Hello, Katie here. After yesterday's vlog, I thought I might introduce the difference between a nun and a sister. For those of you that might be curious or have heard these various titles, you might have always assumed that they're the same. Well, technically there is some differences between a nun and a sister. The titles for religious women, the title nun or the title sister, have been used interchangeably for years, but there really is a difference. A nun lives in what is called a convent, also known as a cloister. And depending on the community and, of course, their charism, they do a variety of things. Typically, nuns live in a convent. A convent is a special building, sometimes out in the middle of nowhere, which is surrounded by fields. And the nuns even usually harvest these fields themselves. Nuns live by the Latin phrase ora et labora, which translates work and pray. Some nuns even have the task of making communion hosts for churches. If you didn't know, a host is a special type of unleavened bread which is used for Mass. Depending on the congregation, nuns rarely come into contact with people. The amount of contact with the public, or even family members, depends on the community and their rule, also known as their way of life. Nuns are given the proper title or prefix of sister. For example, you might recall the movie Sister Act, where Whoopi Goldberg's character's name was Sister Mary Clarence while she was undercover. Some sisters, especially in the convent, wear a habit, which is a special form of clothing, although not all sisters wear a habit. We'll talk about the habit on another day in a different vlog. Our religious sisters share in common 3 vows, which are chastity, poverty, and obedience. And again, we can talk about these vows again another day in a different vlog. The biggest distinction between a nun and a sister is where they live and work. There are sisters who do not live in the convent, believe it or not, and they're not technically called nuns, even though we interchangeably use that phrase. The sisters I am discerning with, for example, the Sisters of the Precious Blood, live in houses, and other sisters live in apartments. Some of the sisters that I'm with live alone, and others live in community with 2 or 3 others. Sisters who belong to active communities, such as the community I am with, work in all sorts of different ministries. For example, I know sisters who have or had a career in education or healthcare, sisters that are doctors and nurses. I know sisters that have worked in pastoral ministry in a variety of positions, including religious education and working as a chaplain in a hospital or nursing home. And I even have known sisters who have been social workers. One size does not fit all. Sisters are not a cookie cutter. Sisters are human beings who have a variety of interests and abilities, and not all communities are the same. I hope that you have enjoyed this brief introduction of the differences between a nun and a sister. Please stay tuned for my future videos. Ciao!